All right, I tried to do this once and record it, but it didn't save my recording, so I'm doing this on Smart Recorder, and hopefully this works. So the first thing we're doing is looking at the functions in Blackboard Collaborate. So right now I'm doing the talk button, and I have the talk hit right now, and you see a microphone by my name, which tells me I'm talking, and the bar is moving, which means that people can hear my voice. So that's the talking, and the texting um in the text box down here. I can write anything I want and put any symbol or picture I want next to it, and when I hit enter, the rest of the class will see what I've written. You also see this moderators tab. If I have students who are moderators, they're presenting, I can tell them to, or a reminder, don't forget to share your screen. This way they have the ability to um, see what I'm saying, but the rest of the class doesn't. So I can, talk with the moderators and say good job or don't forget to do this and so forth. So that's a nice function about this this texting function. So the next thing we want to look at is uploading a PowerPoint. So if you go up here to, I'm going to turn on my little screen follower, my arrow follower, but if you go up to the load content at the top next to the record button, I'm going to choose a file or a PowerPoint to load. I'm going to choose one of my back to school nights from a couple of years ago here, 16, 17, I guess last year. And I'll upload it, and should be coming up for everyone to see. You'll see all the slides are processing right now. All right, so right now everyone can see I do have the slides that I can go through. I can also X this out, and they'll be up here as a drop-down menu, and I can choose what slide to show because the follow me is clicked. If I unclick the follow me, students can go through at their own pace and see whatever they feel they need to see. So right now I'm going to go to follow me, and I can write or highlight on this. So if I wanted to go to my contact information, I could write on here. I have my pencil. I can choose my color, so maybe I want green and or blue, and I say please email or something like that, right? I can do arrows, I can point, I can also do that here. I can put my little arrow and say this is my email. I can change to a highlighter if I want to. So let's say instead of contact information, I say after school. I want kids to sign up by appointment. I want a big highlighter because I want to highlight all the words, and I want it in red. Maybe I can say, all right, got to sign up by appointment. I can highlight, which is great. I can type, so I can put a text box in here and say, please sign up for after school. Right, so I have the ability to type on here as well. So there's a lot of great functions for typing, and I can change the fonts as you see down here, or the size and so forth. So I say I want 48, and I want it looking like a typewriter or so forth. So that's a great function for being able to write on the whiteboard. The next thing we're going to look at is screen sharing. So if you look up here next to the whiteboard function, there's this double squares, which is the sharing. So I'm going to click on this and say OK. If I share my whole desktop, which I'll do first, I can go between whatever is on my desktop. So right now you see my documents, and then you see my Blackboard Collaborate session. I could go into my email, and you'd see my email. If I stop the screen sharing here and go back to whiteboard, and then I do this again, and I say, okay, now I only want you to see my my inbox. So I'll share this. Now, if I go to another screen, you can't see right now that I'm in Blackboard. You can only see my email. So there's different functions for the screen sharing. It can be my whole screen, or it could be just one application that I want to share. All right, so now I'm going to go back to uh, my whiteboard, my web page. Let's go back to the public page, and I'm going to share a URL. So I'm going to go to this kind of rectangle with the world, and I'm going to paste in an IXL segment practice URL. So this gives the ability for each kid to practice in the application. So what is the length here? I would say 2, submit, and so forth. So each kid would be able to practice within Blackboard Collaborate on this site, which is a great function. So that's our sharing of the URL. I'm going to go back to my whiteboard page by clicking this, the leftmost tool on the top here, that pencil writing. And now we're going to look at a poll. So I'm going to go to one of my Are You Smarter Than an 8th Grader pages, and I'm going to make up some answers here. I'm going to say A is 2, B is 7, and C is 12. Let's say, and let's make these a little bit bigger. 48 here. Let's make this 48 and this 48. All right, so I have A, B, and C, and I want the kids to vote if they think that the answer, the value of X is 2, 7, or 12. So I can turn on the polling feature, and I say polling type, I want A, B, C, multiple choice. I can turn that on, and I have the little, the icon in my screen on the left under the participants, and I'm going to say, all right, I will choose C for my answer. If I want students to see, I would leave the mark responses visible on, but if I don't, I want to see what they all say, I can turn this off, and that way no one can see each other's answers. Once everyone's finished, I can publish the responses to the whiteboard, and would be able to see how many students answered A, B, or C, and then go over any questions that we might need to go over if there are answers all over the place. So this is a great tool to be able to kind of quickly assess where your students are and have a conversation about the responses. There are a lot of other great features in here, like making groups, or doing your video, or making different background colors and so forth. But right now, this is all we're going to talk about. So I hope that this is helpful, and that is it. All right, thanks.